Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Together, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I shall never hold thy peace while wrong is going on. Day or night. We gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war cry. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and cry. And do that righteousness. And we love. I will love Jaja, I will love Jaja, yeah, we love Jaja, we love Jaja, we love Jaja, preserve all people. Put time away again. Listen,
Yeah.
just as I and I as the watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah, Jah, me love Jah, me love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight, and then DJ Twink.
It's their justice system versus our injustice system. Good morning and welcome to the At a Glance program. Thank you for joining us. To my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Welcome one and all. Thank you all for joining us this morning while we await the ruling of Brian Sykes in the Silvera case. The DPP has already signaled that she would accept guilty plea for manslaughter rather than go for a murder trial. Welcome, everyone. Karen, how you do? Before your internet get cut out, come know your internet soon start dance about. How you do? Wagwan. No light post start lift up yet? How no do everybody? Morning and welcome one and all. Miss Jam Uptown, Lynette Jenkins, good morning, Laverne, Colleen, Wayne Evans, Karen Forbes, good morning, Blessed Woman, George Beckford, Sheena Kelly, Pamela Acola, Joan Brown, Charlotte Graham, good morning, one and all, Miranda Ruddock, Annie Jones, like and share the live for us, please. Gloria Swaby, good morning. Because to say, we are angry and annoyed of the DPP's signaling to accept Suzette Williams, how you do? Silvera's guilty plea for manslaughter. And then the excuse would want to make you drop off your chair immediately.
The prosecution has reportedly accepted a guilty plea to manslaughter.
Hold on the globalist. This thing jump out. When you call Lisa Hannah to me and Kevin Blake, I have a question.
The prosecution has reported.
Call Lisa Hannah. Come in, if I threaten Lisa Hannah, threaten me, threaten anybody. Colin, how you do? Karen Namad. Cousin Myrna, Wagwan. Wanna call Lisa Hannah for me then, no? And call Kevin Blake. Come me want to family Lisa Hannah threaten. Because people don't have to threaten you outright, you know. Threat can be subliminal. I want to know who Lisa Hannah a threaten. Now, back to the Silveras. Let us listen what the DPP say.
The prosecution has reportedly accepted a guilty plea to manslaughter on grounds of a provocation from former PNP MP Jolyan Silvera in connection with the death of his wife, Melissa. Chief Justice Brian Sykes is expected to rule on Thursday on whether the court will accept the plea.
Provocation, said Jolyan Silvera. Young D.T. Wagwan, Elga Fletcher, Pamela Akola, Wagwan. Provocation, said Jolyan Silvera. Let's listen more. Provocation, he was provoked. Provocation, believe it or not.
What was the plea deal?
The law allows provocation as a defense. It's still provocation in the Jamaica justice system. Here, though, it is what's been moved down from provocation or sidestep from provocation to diminish responsibility. What that defense is saying, that what Miss Silvera said to me in that heated argument with the nasty words Miss Silvera was flashing at me, mentally, I snapped. And I was not aware of what I was doing. The law really accepts stupid fuckers like that, like literally. It's interesting. It would be interesting to hear from Brian Sykes in his ruling today. Is it that Jolyan Silvera's argument in relation to provocation is accepted, or is it that on the evidence, Brian Sykes, you see no realistic prospect of a panel of jurors convicting Jolyan Silvera for the murder of Melissa Silvera? Their justice system versus our injustice system.
What was the plea deal? Jolyan Silvera reportedly admitted that on November 10, 2023, he shot.
Now, this whole plea deal argument in Jamaica has been going on for quite a long time. How Jamaica do plea deal, don't so plea deal go? In a plea deal is giving up something for a lesser charge. In a plea deal is giving up something for a lesser charge. There's a difference in a plea deal and pleading guilty as early as possible to minimize your sentence. A plea deal, you are giving up a worse criminal than you, or you are giving up a mastermind, or you're giving up information to the system that would help them in other investigation. That's how the whole plea deal thing works. Or Jamaica use the plea deal to save court time is injustice, in my view. In my view, it is injustice. But let's listen.
His wife, Melissa, opposed the plea deal. Jolyan Silvera reportedly admitted that on November 10, 2023, he shot his wife, Melissa, during a domestic dispute. Silvera reportedly said that on the fateful night, he and his wife engaged in a heated argument where, among other things, she blamed him for the death of their son, Justin, in August 2017. The body of Justin, who was only a year old, was found floating in the pool, while both Silvera and the household helper were at home. Our sources say Silvera spoke of a torrent of verbal abuse from Melissa on that night, which caused the former member of parliament to snap. A struggle reportedly ensued, during which Melissa was shot. It's understood she was shot 3 times. Silvera's explanation of these circumstances of Melissa's death preceded his move to plead guilty to manslaughter and using a firearm to commit a felony. While much
No, Mr. Silvera, Jolyan Silvera, the murderer, because you have now accepted that you shot her. You want to plead to a lesser offense. So you're conjuring up a defense, isn't it, Jolyan Silvera? It is right that Melissa Silvera would have blamed you for the death of their 1-year-old who was drowned in a pool. Whether, Jolyan Silvera, you killed the child, or accidentally or deliberately, or by your negligence, Jolyan Silvera, the child ended up drowning in a pool, a 1-year-old child, Jolyan Silvera, with you, the father, at home, and the carer at home. We're provoking in that for Melissa blame you for the death of your child, while you were there, probably Jolyan Silvera, snorting and crack and drinking Hennessy. How is that? How that provoke you to pull a gun and shot your wife? I really want to see Brian Sykes accept that defense. Let Jolyan Silvera put that defense in front of a juror, of a panel of jurors, Brian Sykes. If Justice Brian Sykes is to be seen to be done, let us, the public, the 7 or 12 members of our peer, Brian Sykes, make the decision on Jolyan Silvera's defense. If Jolyan Silvera is to be convicted on manslaughter, let a panel of jurors does it. But if Brian Sykes and Claudette Thompson go along with this thing, all it left us to show is rich people acquire a different justice from poor people. And on a political friend, when we stitch them up, because Jolyan, I know the rich one, and Melissa are the rich people, but the whole system from this death, from this murder, from this killing, have failed Melissa Silvera. Jolyan Silvera should have never even been given the chance to go to Melissa Silvera's funeral to cry. Marcia, how you do? If you've been watching me from 2000, late 2003, 2004, I am one of them who's been questioning Jolyan Silvera as to the death of his son. Because whether by his recklessness, carelessness, or deliberate action, it wouldn't be unusual for Melissa to blame him for the death of the child. How you manage to make a 1-year-old child drown in a pool, Jolyan Silvera, Debbie Jervis, how you do? Welcome. I want to hear Brian Sykes admit this as a defense. What about the aggravated cover-up, Brian Sykes? But wait till we talk to Claudette. What about the aggravated cover-up? If Jolyan Silvera had any humanity in him and shot his wife out of a snap fit of rage, out of a snap fit of mental rage, because this is what Jolyan Silvera, under this level of defense, is arguing, that he snapped into a fit of mental rage, shotting his wife 3 times. Who else is to be blamed, Jolyan Silvera, for the death of your 1-year-old child while you were in the house, drunk, high, reckless, or something? How Claudette Signal says she will accept such defense? Because it's that defense that would allow you to knock down to the lesser charge of what we would call diminished responsibility in the United Kingdom. It's still called provocation in Jamaica. But it's the same thing, same level of defense. You snapped into a fit of mental rage. The trigger word in a defense here, in such a defense here, is him being responsible for the death of their 1-year-old. Under this defense, that's what they would be claiming to be the trigger point that allows him to snap into this mental fit of rage, shotting his wife 3 times. I would want a panel of jurors to make that decision, Brian Sykes and Claudette Thompson. Not uno cook up and conjure up. We want to hear everything trash out upon the witness stand. The corruption in our country, left, right, and center, executive corrupt, legislator corrupt and incompetent, judiciary corrupt.
Opposed the plea deal, Jolyan Silvera reportedly admitted that on November 10, 2023, he shot his wife Melissa during a domestic dispute. Silvera reportedly said that on the fateful night, he and his wife engaged in a heated argument where, among other things, she blamed him for the death of their son Justin in August 2017. The body of Justin, who was only a year old, was found floating in the pool, while both Silvera and the household helper were at home. Our sources say Silvera spoke of a torrent of verbal abuse from Melissa on that night, which caused the former member of parliament to snap. A struggle reportedly ensued, during which Melissa was shot. It's understood she was shot 3 times. Silvera's explanation of the circumstances of Melissa's death preceded.
Right. There's a 2-part to your defense here, Jolyan Silvera. You snapped. You would have picked up the gun when you snapped with an intention to use it or intimidate her, Jolyan Silvera, isn't it? And then you went on to say, in a tussle, Melissa was shot 3 times. Are you then saying, which part of the defense are you relying on? You did it in a fit of mental rage, or is it that it was done accidentally in the tussle between you and Melissa? Which of those 2 parts of the one defense, I would argue, that Jolyan Silvera is relying on? Is it the snap? Because the snap means a mental fit of rage. You've lost it temporarily. That's what he's saying here. But then you move on to the tussle, would imply it's possible accidentally during the tussle. Which Brian Sykes, may I wait for your mother this evening? Brian Sykes will wait for you. We'll lay down in a grass out here, Brian Sykes. Come on, see where you come up with this evening. Because this argument, you know, is a 2-part defense. Is it that she was shot while he was in a mental fit of rage? Or was she shot in a tussle accidentally? Brian Sykes, you must explain that to us, because idiot like me, is left confused. I don't know what's the confusion, not the far from me. But to listen again, and listen if I'm not two part to the defense. Listen, wanna help me listen now, please? And tell me if it's not two part here to the defense. Because the snap part and the tussle part is two different parts in the defense. The snap part, you've lost your mind because you were triggered by what she said to blaming by her blaming you for the death of both of your son. And then you went on to a tussle. Is it that she was shot because of your mental rage? Or was she shot during a tussle? That is important to explore in the defense if the court accepts that defense.
Post the plea deal, Jolyan Silvera reportedly admitted that on November 10, 2023, he shot his wife Melissa during a domestic dispute. Silvera reportedly said that on the fateful night, he and his wife engaged in a heated argument where, among other things, she blamed him for the death of their son Justin in August 2017. The body of Justin, who was only a year old, was found floating in the pool, while both Silvera and the household helper were at home. Our sources say Silvera spoke of a torrent of verbal abuse from Melissa on that night, which caused the former member of parliament to snap. A struggle reportedly ensued, during which Melissa was shot. It's understood she was shot 3 times. Silvera's explanation of the circumstances of Melissa's death preceded his move to plead guilty to manslaughter and using a firearm to commit a felony. While much focus has been placed on the murder or manslaughter aspect of the case, the firearm aspect is being overlooked. But on the firearms charge alone, Jolyan Silvera is facing between 15 and 25 years in prison. With the prosecution having accepted Silvera's offer of a guilty plea to manslaughter, all eyes are now fixed on Chief Justice Brian Sykes, who will on Thursday rule on how the case will proceed. For Jolyan Silvera, Thursday, February 5, 2026, is the first of a few D-days, whichever decision is ultimately made by the Chief Justice. In November 2023, condolences streamed in to Jolyan Silvera after it was announced on the Facebook page of PNP President Mark Golding that his wife, Melissa, passed away. Shortly after that message, Silvera reportedly told family and friends a combination of stories about how Melissa died. One was that Melissa died in her sleep of a suspected aneurysm. He reportedly told other people she fell while taking a shower, hit her head, and subsequently died. He wept openly at her funeral. One senior PNP MP who was questioned by police reportedly said Jolyan Silvera asked him to fund the purchase of a mattress to replace the one that was in the bedroom at the time Melissa died. The MP said he did not comply. George Davis for Nationwide News.
I want to appeal to Brian Sykes. Let it be a public trial. Let it not be something conjured up or what it would seem to us. Because Jolyan Silvera, if given a 15 years, if his plea for manslaughter is accepted and given 15 years or so for the firearm, I cannot see them giving him a higher sentencing for the manslaughter. Both sentence is more likely to run concurrently, which he will run out more likely the higher sentence of 15 years. still a get out card. But I would advise the Chief Justice and the DPP, let a juror decide whether Brian Sykes, whether Jolyan Silvera is guilty for murder or manslaughter. The two parts in Jolyan Silvera's defense, where he's claiming provocation as well as possible accident. He did it, but he had no intention, if you listen to the two parts of his defense. The snap under the provocation defense, you snap into a mental fit of rage because something triggered you. What triggered Jolyan Silvera, he's claiming in this defense, is when Melissa blamed him for the killing, for the death of their one-year-old child who drowned in the pool in their residence while Jolyan Silvera and the helper was at home. He's claiming that caused him to snap in a mental fit of rage. Then later on in the defense, you heard that Melissa was shot in a tussle. That in a defense, are you arguing you were still in the mental, that still is a part of the mental fit of rage? Or is it that Melissa was shot accidentally 3 times in the tussle? So I'm appealing to Brian Sykes. Allow a panel of jurors to explore Jolyan Silvera's defense. If a panel of jurors decides, with time served chair already, exactly, Wayne Evans. Betty, how you do? If a panel of jurors find him not guilty for murder and guilty for manslaughter, I would find that more accepting rather than Jolyan Silvera conjure bullshit, literally bullshit. What if Melissa blamed you for the death of the child? You were at home and you allow your one-year-old child to drown in a pool. What wife or girlfriend wouldn't blame you? Idiot. So that conjuring up Brian Sykes, no wash. Don't hold water upon duck back. That no work. We can't buy that. Look at the cover-up of the crime, Brian Sykes. Exactly. Shot her 3 times accidentally. Jolyan Silvera moved straight in to cover up the crime, which is a worse crime, Brian Sykes, than killing his wife. Everything about Jolyan Silvera after killing his wife was aggravated. Without the post-mortem, Jolyan Silvera would be walking around a free man. And everybody would have think that Melissa just sick and dead in her sleep. We can't accept them something there as defense, Brian Sykes. Let everything trash out upon the witness stand. Let Silvera tell us, the public, that on the witness stand, whether it was a fit of rage or she was shot accidentally in the tussle. Because these are the two understanding I'm getting out of the defense Jolyan Silvera is advancing. I mean, I know how Claudette. Oh, that go Claudette. Claudette, how that go? That you willing to accept, conjure up bullshit. I would like to see at what point Jolyan Silvera came up with this particular defense. No matter what time in law you come up with it, they will accept it because the law allows you to a defense. The law allows you to a defense of provocation. The law will accept a defense of provocation. Provocation is not an absolute defense as self-defense would have been. What it's done, whether it be provocation or diminished responsibility, it takes you down to a lesser charge, less prison time. And that's what Jolyan Silvera and his crooked legal team is aiming for. But it's a disgrace to our justice system if we allow that to fly. Let it be trashed out. Even if jurors let him off free, make it trash out on the witness stand. Let the cold-blooded killing of Melissa Silvera by the former People's National Party MP Jolyan Silvera be trashed out on the witness stand. Because anything else for us, Gloria Morris, how you do? Anything else for us is corruption, kangaroo court, kangaroo justice system. So we're appealing to Brian Sykes. Let this go to a public trial. Let this go to a public trial. He has already admitted guilt. Violet Watson, how you do? Welcome. Let it go to a public trial. There's enough here to secure a conviction for murder. A plea deal, and a plea deal go hold Jamaica do plea deal. Plea deal just to give people less a sentence or for free up court time. It's not plea deal. Plea deal is quid pro quo. Something for something. You go accept a lesser charge for give me credible information for take down a bigger criminal ring. That's how a plea deal works. Plea at first point or at first opportunity, which knocks automatically 1/3 of your sentence, is quite much of a different thing. And I don't know if the court system in Jamaica is muddling two things together that shouldn't. But I know so plea deal work. Plea deal is something for something. You give up something to get a lesser charge. You give up credible information. You're giving up a criminal ring or a criminal gang. That's how a plea deal works. But we're asking Brian Sykes, let this go to a public trial. Anything, Brian Sykes, other than a public trial is corruption, is injustice. Anything other than a public trial in the cold-blooded killing of Melissa Silvera by her husband is connected justice. Not justice seen to be done, but justice by connection. High society. Just, I know Claudette come from, I don't call Lisa Hannah there while we're at it. Call her. And call Kevin Blake for it too. I could ask him, say, if all of we can do this. And I could ask Lisa Hannah, who you are threatening?
Have you ever noticed your GPS never shames you for a wrong?
Lisa Hannah have a way of speaking subliminally. Lisa have a way of speaking subliminally and think when I look and listen. Who Lisa Hannah threaten? And can all of us can all of us walk and threaten people like a Lisa Anna and can do as Lisa Anna do? Isn't this a subliminal threat? Fuck with me and I will limb you up.
Have you ever noticed your GPS never shames you for a wrong turn? It doesn't panic. It doesn't lecture. It actually just recalculates. And it keeps guiding you forward because, you know, we're so hard on ourselves. We think that
We just screenshot that for me. Screenshot it. Me could show the world, say Lisa jive with weapon. Can any Jamaican jive with such a weapon? Can every Jamaican is allowed to jive with such a weapon? Because that's not for farming purposes, is it? Lisa Anna, does anyone know? Sharon, can the ordinary Jamaican just jive around with a weapon of such on them and blatantly is telling us, fuck with me and see if me don't limb up your clock because the way you show with the machete, Lisa. Lisa, you could have do it off of the camera. It's subliminal messaging. To who, may I ask, Miss Hannah? Can't you go chat? Judgment. Whenever I say wicked, no, sir. Lisa, I got chop cane. Subliminal messaging. Lisa Hannah is sending subliminal message. Lisa Hannah make it shown to the world that I can jive with a weapon. Can you? I am in the untouchable class of society, says Miss Hannah. Isn't that what Miss Hannah is saying? Lisa Hannah. Pretty bossy and impatient, come here. Pretty bossy and impatient. Because you're not on Prime Minister, you get up and run out of politics and still torment on social media. We don't call pretty bossy and impatient for it, you know? Pretty bossy and wear your emotion on your sleeve, Lisa. Come here. Who you chatting? Lisa Anna. Kevin Blake. Kevin Blake, wanna see Lisa? Wanna see Lisa chatting for chop way up? Lisa could have done that off camera. Is it not? I rub them power up in our face. When they can tell we say, me allow for jive with a war machete, because this is not chop wood machete, Lisa. And not chop wood machete, them there. Lisa Hannah, are you driving with swords and gun as well? It is sending me to subscribe mode. Sometime when you do that, Sharon, you just close your YouTube app and open it again. That there no wood, I know machete for chop wood. I know wood chop machete this year, Lisa. Lisa Anna. This is no wood chop machete. Lisa Hannah. It all have this string where you put your hand in and mean say when you chop with, it can't jump out of your hand. Is it Miss Hannah, Kevin Blake, or it's the all way allow for Kalisa can jump out pan anyone away in a what you call it, road rage and chop way up, you know. If Lisa have to go have road rage like my sister, Lisa may go jump out at anybody at any time and chop them up. This is a subliminal message. Lisa never have to do this on camera. But Lisa sent a message. What is the message though, Lisa Hannah? When we don't have license gun, we don't have bodyguard, we don't have only a gunman, and we still intimidate with machete. So when people see you on the road, them feel afraid of you. But I go argue with Miss Hannah because she may jump out and chop me up. What kind of behavior is this, Lisa Hannah? To post a young boy from the ghetto, a young boy from rural Jamaica, do this on camera. You think somebody now look for them? You think somebody in authority wouldn't be concerned? You think if the whole of Jamaica young man, Lisa Hannah, were to drive with such a illustrious black machete, we wouldn't have bloodshed across the country? If everybody have so much weapon on them a road? If this is illegal for we, it's illegal for the high and mighty too. Why Lisa rub this up in our face and think to say, little girl, the world know you. The world have always seen you dressing up pretty and impatient. Make me tell you something. With people where are coming beneath us now. Because to say, when things are just so TV and so radio, where you have cloth, class, color, connection, here, and all of them something there, for even get an interview or get somebody see up on TV. When I been on one, when we soon are walking coming like the same earth where we are walk pan, and it when we walk pan. How me see the whole on come down and look the social media. You can't go on now, you know. For the time when popular on the belly supposed to full. Low the vlogger them we want popularity. And jump down. Ladybug, oh you doing? Evan, Paul, jump down and come all the way upon dot. A competition people, and will do just any little fuckery for influence for people talk about Lisa Hannah go and back go muggle. Create an area of yourself or something. But it look like you hallucinate with you, you're just a conjure bullshit coming up public. Because same way you come in contact, everybody should have a female bathroom in their house and a male bathroom. You think everybody walk and fuck all white man like you, idiot? Little girl, move, and don't make me go in the mud after you this morning. Don't let me trace you through the swamp, Miss Hannah. You impatient and left politics. Leave public life and go on about your business. And stop the bullshit. Everything is about the camera for you. Everything is about the camera. And then you talk about being role model. What kind of role model when you teach people picking if you walk and chop up people? Lisa Hannah? What kind of role model that would be other than walk and chop up people picking it? Understand the Lisa a criminal just like the other politician them. When you think Lisa don't in the gun and drugs galang in with the politician them, on a member that big kingpin when he get arrested a St. Anzawan dance couple years ago, that was Lisa Kimping. On a year, tell Lisa to come ask me nothing. Make me bust liberty pan her. Because you think so Lisa is a clean politician. Lisa is as dirty as any politician on both sides of the fence, where all of them connected to gunmen and drugsmen and gangsters. You may not know, but I certainly know. Walk and check no way. Out order. Out of order, Miss Hannah.
Have you ever noticed your GPS never shames you for a wrong turn? It doesn't panic. It doesn't lecture. It actually just recalculates. And it keeps guiding you forward because, we're so hard on ourselves. We think that one mistake actually ruins everything. But life is always recalculating. You can realign. You can redirect. You can actually begin again because one wrong turn doesn't cancel the entire journey. Right?
It's right at my right hand, said Lisa. Drive up on me if you're bad. Sideswipe me if you're bad, said Lisa. And see how me jump out upon you with my machete with a string round my hand and wish-wash, swash you. And then probably sell you to the Chinese, them for cook gain and noodles and rice. You stay there. Anyway, who else will have to tackle this, man? But tell Lisa to stop with the bullshit. It's utter bullshit. Let's slip over to parity. Before we go to the Starlinkish, what, Jamaica? One of the things that we must do, two things, I'm calling on the National Heritage Society. I'm calling on the National Heritage Society
in a primetime news
to list two things on our heritage list in our country. Scandal, because that's a thing that we inherit from the British. Scandals and corruption. We need to put those on our national heritage lists. Scandals and corruption. We've never been too far from any of those two, which we've inherited from the British. But this area, under government, I make scandal look like high street shopping this area. You don't know which shop for turn off in Andrew Holness. The warehouse scandal hot and high this year 2026 yeah. You don't know which one of the shop on the high street prime minister for turn off in. So we must call on the National Heritage Society or Heritage Trust or what they name. We need to list scandal and corruption as a heritage in our society. Can we now go get rid of it? No. Unless we burn down Jamaica and start all over again, we can't get rid of scandal and corruption.
In a primetime news update, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Floyd Green, says he's instructed the police to take a zero-tolerance approach to...
We don't call Fifi for we, no? We don't call Lady Bez for we. Call Lady Beswick for we this morning.
In a primetime news update, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Floyd Green, says he's instructed the police to take a zero-tolerance approach to anyone found illegally mining sand in the parish. Residents of Parity raised concern about the dangerous practice of some of their neighbors in the wake of Hurricane Melissa, dumping mounds of sand in the community. Krista Campbell has the details.
There's been no shortage of attention on the issue of sand mining since TPJ News highlighted the concerns of some residents of Parity in St. Elizabeth about how the illegal practice was threatening their community and lives. Other residents had been selling the excess sand dumped onto their property and on the roads during Hurricane Melissa's onslaught. Adding his voice of condemnation, Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Southwestern Floyd Green stressed that as mining minister, it's a matter he takes seriously. And so,
I've spoken to Superintendent Coleridge Minto about this issue, and he's going to dispatch more police in the area to pay keen attention to that. We've also dispatched a team from the Ministry of Mining, the Commissioner of Mines, to look what is happening and to see if we to do our checks with any persons in and around the area who are already known for mining to ensure that they're not the ones involved in this illegal activity. We are taking a zero tolerance approach to this. Once people are found, they will be prosecuted because this cannot be allowed to happen.
But it has been happening elsewhere in the parish too.
We went as far as to Fort Charles in Treasure Beach.
Fort Charles is the next beach along the coastline from Parity.
Also do some sites observations, and we actually noted or observed that persons were also taking sands from some of those areas.
The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, says it is considering setting up sting operations to catch the perpetrators who are said to operate late in the nights. But amid concerns from residents for the sand to be removed and used to rebuild the fishing beach, the minister has responded.
Part of what we're doing is looking at what are the best engineering solutions for Parity. And, despite the frustration, I think people understand that this can't be rushed, because what has happened is that Hurricane Melissa has changed the whole profile of the community. It has showed some of the areas where the drainage was not working or where the drains were blocked and has caused additional areas.
Now to the drain flood that was blocked. This is where Party people ought to be blamed. Sharon know me I talk down off a Salpan with the calb up there, near Eyeglass Rest there. So when I went to Jamaica in 2018, and she said no water now draw off a Brady. Me ask cousin Myrna what the problem. They said down a creek. We call it down a creek or down a salpan. Black up. That was something that local government did under Derek Sangster. Sold that land to developers and then block our drainage. This is why you see we endure a lot of the problem where we endure, because the pond, we used to have a broad, dry area on it where we grew up playing cricket, football, netball. We interact with the environment. The whole sea full of water and so normally tan is because the drain that leads the water to the sea has been blocked for years because local government gave that area to developers and developers block with drain. Party people is to be blamed because I found 2018 I have been going on about this. Even when Kevar Bennett, my cousin, was running for councillor in 2024. Me said, this is a mandate, Kevar. If you go to local government, you must sort this out for the community. Otherwise, it will be horse and pato. The people are to be blamed. The people stand up and make them black. And party people know how critical down a salt pan is for we when rainfall and any sort of flooding issue. Yes, Sharon, the water higher than the road because to say them a years the blockage there because when we go on the 2018, Mrs. say Brady na jaw, you can't walk pan Brady. Water they right up to roadside. If they clear the drain, you know, Sharon, if they clear the drain, it will go down. The problem we are going to have, it's the buffer, all of that sand, that Melissa creep up from the beach, go push pan the road, and creep up from inner the yard them. That is the danger for us because it flattens with coastline where we don't have that buffer between we and the sea anymore because the tidal, the tsunami removes so much sand from the coastline. So the coastline becomes flatter. So as soon as the evening time comes and you have the high tide, the sea come right back over. So there have to be great environmental attention paid to the coastline. The government will have to invest some of the insurance and loan money in the coastline, but we know they have ulterior motives. Make it Jankra continue talk. So this is something where Floyd and Derek Sangster need and the community need to deal with by making sure say we drain down a salt pan. If we fit divert around the man building or whatever it needs to be open, it's a drainage system where we grandmother and grandpa and great grandma them used to have access to. I don't the people couldn't go pick up salt. Because when salt pan dry, you see the natural clump of salt.
To open up, it has removed a lot of sand and really almost changed the shape of the area. So already the technical teams are on the ground, the engineers are on the ground. The Prime Minister visited the area and has dispatched some instructions.
So what are these solutions?
We have done a temporary solution for the road that, so that people could access both sides of the community, but that's not the permanent solution. The question is now, what do? You do a culvert? Do you do a bridge? What is the best way? And we've also done some studies dating back to look at how was parity before, because some people have an opinion that really what is happening is a restoration of how parity used to be. So we are looking at all of those. We will also have to look at, are there some areas that are no longer
Krista Camp.
It's going to be a long wait. It's going to be a long wait from this government. Very long wait. That's the most I can say. And if the people of parity continue to sit down, continue to be divided on political lines, continue to protect your politician, you will wallow in the devastation of it all. You will wallow in the devastation of it all. It's about time the community see the common interests and work towards a common goal to preserve the community, to preserve generational wealth. Exactly, Sharon. And so much is needed to be done around there. Me say, the company, you see party people now, you see if charities never go around there, you see if charity never got parity, may I tell you, say, dog, would and them they suffer, them suffer because and all our barrel get to Jamaica early. And all our barrel and pallets or whatever, boxes or whatever get to Jamaica early. So if the charities never got parity, dog would and them they suffer. But these people, they are so in love with Floyd Green. They have become so much a fool for Floyd Green. It is upsetting. It's upsetting, I tell you. But if the community don't do within their interests, the MP is not going to do it. The more you protect the MP, is the less get done. Of all the communities and constituencies hit by Melissa, your Southwest St. Elizabeth community have not been spoken about in Parliament. It's not been represented because when Floyd Green becomes the leader of government business, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Fish and Mining, that's what he caters to, not what his constituency needs. He cannot rebel against his government. He cannot question his government under the ministerial code. So, as long as Floyd Green is in this position, you all are not going to get any representation. And we just have to take one or get when Floyd Green want to give or do it. The community is still divided on political line because majority of the coastline is Floyd Green loyalist. From Windad to Load, majority of the community is Floyd Green loyalists. Loyalists to Floyd Green. Loyalists to Floyd Green. Let's go to one of the many scandals of one of the many procurement scandals of 2026, because when we make almanac in Jamaica, we need, like how we put Jesus on almanac, we need to start put procurement scandal on almanac in our country. So every time we look, we remember. Like when you do something in our house and you say Jesus pan the almanac, when you stop or you feel guilty. Yeah. When you're picking, remember how the almanac used to keep you in check when you're picking it? No, sir. Let's go to one of Jamaica's usual.
Is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
According to the Auditor General's report, published on February 4, Minister Vaz proceeded with the acquisition of Starlink units outside of established procurement procedures, triggering scrutiny from oversight bodies tasked with protecting the integrity of public spending. This is particularly troubling given the safeguards procurement rules are designed to provide. I wish to point out further that the issue is complicated by the minister's own public statements. On November 1, 2025, Minister Vaz announced that Jamaica had received 700 Starlink units as a donation in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, presenting the devices as emergency support for national connectivity. Jamaicans are entitled to clear and consistent answers. If 700 Starlink units were declared as a donation, the public must now be told why a subsequent purchase has been made and now been flagged by the Auditor General. I wish to reiterate our call for the establishment of a broad-based oversight committee to strengthen transparency and accountability across government. Incidents like this highlight exactly why independent, cross-sector oversight is necessary, especially at this time.
At pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
Now let's go to Darrell Vaz's argument. Our system become a tit for tat, you know.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines and the documentation.
Politics in our country is a lion and a goat. The goat says, the lion is a cruel, dominating figure in the jungle. He's faster than me, so he ate me. The lion said, I was hungry. There was nothing to eat. I saw the goat, and rather than dying for hunger, I ate the goat. Two different stories based on the two different people's perception. Why information is important, Darrell Vaz? Why information is important, Philip Paulwell? Why information is important, Jamaica? The information we've been given forms our perception. Is how you've been controlled by religion and through the education system and through the media. The information pumped into you. That's why you see the control of information at one time was very important, even though internet bust liberty on them now. The control of information is control of perception and control of action. The information fed to you form your perceptions and belief systems. It also dictates your actions. Washing cycle. I feed you pig for long enough and then you start grunting.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help.
Darrell Vaz, with it clothes, with it where we walk and wear breeze in a Jamaica. It really doesn't matter what position I have, you know. It doesn't. I've come to the settled acceptance that it don't really matter what rules and systems are in our country. When we have a corrupt system, when we have corrupt people engaged in a corrupt system, it really doesn't matter, Darrell Vaz, what position one has. If one decides not to follow the rule, or one decides not to have respect for other institutions, you idiot. As Mama would have said, them fool are past cure fool, you know. Not the cure for them stupidity.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help to those affected persons whether saving a life, getting food to them, whatever it is, I make no apology.
Labor right, you have a way of thinking and talking at the same time that exposes you in the track of the thinking and talking. But it's one thing with that one, you hear me now? You see like how Tufton will come out with a cocky dismissiveness? Him will come out and just face the video. The Darrell Vaz, but when all the way go to school, Darrell Vaz tap a shop corner and play a marble and a pick up back stop and play a jaff. And end up in a government in our country. What can go so? Darrell Vaz will never go to school. Darrell Vaz will stop a shop pays and play draft. Darrell Vaz will tap over common and play marble. Is Minister of Science, Transport, and all sort of fuckery in our country. Then we must take what we get. We must take what we get. Christ Almighty.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help to those affected persons, whether saving a life, getting food to them, whatever it is, I make no apology whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I go further. In circumstances such as these, if I had to do it again, I would do it again. In response to the opposition statement, I simply say to Philip Paulwell, the leader of the opposition, all members of parliament in the affected areas, both opposition and government, plus mayors and councillors on both sides were recipients of Starlink to allow them to be able to better communicate with the responding agencies and their constituents. So I'm not quite sure what they are complaining about.
I fear.
I'm not quite sure, he said, what they are complaining about. This is how Darrell Vaz normally rude and faced it. When Darrell Vaz didn't allow in procurement people them to deal with the procurement, Darrell Vaz went ahead and do it himself. So what's the point of having these systems in place when nobody no respect them? What's the point? As me say, it's just a goat and lion story. Philip Paulwell say for him part. Darrell Vaz say for him part. Will the people of Jamaica ever get the truth? The amount of truth we sit down and wait for in our country, we become truth crazy. We become truth searching crazy right here now. Red tape, gridlock, wholeness warns reform to Jamaica, excessive bureaucracy, essential for faster national development. That's another bullshit that the Prime Minister talks about. Bureaucracy. Prime Minister, it's not even the bureaucracy of the problem, It's the corruption, because on a bureaucracy, a hold up things is the lack of political, operational, and administrative will, Prime Minister, not bureaucracy. Because if we are to go by the Auditor General report, Prime Minister, there's a constant lack of bureaucracy. But the Auditor General can't find the paperwork them to verify what to verify. There's an awful lot of bureaucracy. It's not that bureaucracy is slow in our country. It's a lack of it, Prime Minister. You know, the bureaucracy will help, the lack of bureaucracy will help in the corruption. You know, the procuring the goods, then do the procurement document after, or do the bidding documents after. Those are the corrupt bureaucracy we're all the way back. The bureaucracy won't now go straight with things. You don't have to search to find out how can I swindle this money through one of my shell company with one of my friends. Because after the time, when you give out contract, if you fit check, there's a shell company way over yonder. We're connected to this, we're connected to that. We lead right back to, you know. But two these things are in shell companies and are in trust. Especially when they are in trust, they are completely detached from the settler, which is the person, such as Andrew Holness, whatever I have in trust is separate from Andrew. Andrew and the trust different. You understand? And these are the type of bureaucracy we're hamper we in our country. The bureaucracy of tip, of handing something under the table to get a faster service, rather than you have a design service to serve people. So tap the bureaucracy argument every day, because every Auditor General report come out shows a lack of bureaucracy across government. It don't show a lot of red tape across government, Prime Minister. It shows corruption, because you see, when it's about securing the things them for yourself, and when you don't want to spend the money, when you get the kickback out of it, there is no red tape hold up, Prime Minister. When we go straight ahead and do business without even doing the paperwork. Red tape and bureaucracy only involve when we taxpayer money for spend for our benefit. That's the only time it involved. That's why Darrell Valls couldn't take up $12 million and buy 200 Starlink and go around the whole procurement issue, go around the whole system within government where him figure through to do it. So stop going on about bureaucracy. It's corruption, Prime Minister, and bad governance. Corruption and bad governance. Then we might tell Audrey Kudos, Audrey Marks. Not even read nothing about Audrey this morning, because she's dull as the back of a machete. Audrey Marks is as dull as the back of any old machete. So me wouldn't even look on Audrey Marks this morning. Everett Warmington has been appointed a commissioner of the ECJ, because you know the bloody hand president of the Senate has stepped down from the ECJ. So Everett Warmington has been now appointed ECJ commissioner. That's it for this morning. That's it for this morning. And ask Kevin if him have anything for ask Lisa Hannah about the black machete. And if she walk with sword and gun as well. Because she walk with dog and she walk with machete. And we don't know her as farmer. So we want to hear from Kevin Blake if we can buy one of them black machete there and put our right hand like Lisa. Anyway, Me I can't go back about my business, you know. Exactly. Go and go ox dry coconut. Go and go ox dry coconut. But Jamaica people, me say, if you don't wake up, case Tama morning before me go. You know, me case and go on. Me give you 1 week, case Tama. We don't keep an eye on British politics. Case Tama, me give you 1 week. And to allness, you're going to see how Prime Minister resign for making bad decision in a case Tama done this, don't you know? Tell all England say, if you tell them say, case Tama day is done. Case Tama admit in Parliament yesterday. Case Tama admit in Parliament yesterday that when he appointed Jeffrey Lady Mandelson, Jeffrey Epstein, flip it a gibbet. He knew that vetting, in that vetting, he was told that Peter Mandelson was still communicating with the convicted sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein. And he made the decision to appoint Peter Mandelson to His Majesty's ambassador to Washington. That's the death of Keir Starmer premiership. Just keep an eye on British politics. We will have a new prime minister quite soon. Because if Keir Starmer survives this week, then mind up with them. Now I can't care good news again. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari. We love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I say, watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari. War and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari. We love all. Jah Jah Jah. Me love Jah Jah. Me love Jah Jah. Preserve all. Me love Jah Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.